Hello, and this is Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com and mindfocusgroups.co.uk. And here's another top tip to help you overcome the problems that stand in the way of your health, happiness and success. And I want you to become more flexible and more responsible. And this is from lessons that I've learnt, where I found that being inflexible and being caught out and not responding correctly has done me no good at all. Flexibility is not just a physical thing where you're bendy and pliable and able to have mobility. It's about emotional flexibility and mental flexibility. So you have a range of options so that you're not fixed in rigid response patterns, in rigid behavior patterns, which I would call a rut. Ruts are no good for you. Ruts are like a grave with the ends kicked out, and if you're in a rut, you're always doing the same thing, living on repeat. And you want to be flexible. You want to have a range of responses that are positive and beneficial and mature for you. And you also want to be responsible. That word I love, which means that you're able to respond, response able, and not response disable. And how do you do it? Well, what you do is you create what I would call a gap. When you're faced with a situation which you don't want or isn't helpful to you and puts you into stress, tension, anxiety, worry or fear, you step back in your mind. You can physically step back actually if you want, but you just step back in your mind and then you take an overview. You look down on it and you look at it to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture, taking the higher view, not the lower view, accessing your higher self and not your lower self, will give you some wisdom. Because in that situation, that event, that circumstance will be learning, an opportunity to grow, to fall forward and not to fall back into old habit patterns of repeat. If you can learn to do that, just to witness and be aware of yourself and to see situations as they arise, even the unexpected situations, then that will help you cope with everything, including the unexpected, in a far more beneficial way. You step back, create a gap, and then you think, well, what do I want? Where's the learning in this? What am I trying to create? Quite often, the universe, the world, or God, whatever your belief system, will present you with challenges. These challenges you might define as problems. People sometimes say, and I'm going to swear now, some people sometimes say that shit happens. What I'm going to say is that when that happens and it hits the fan, that you shift. Just put an F in the middle of that swear word and shift. Shift massively into your higher spiritual self. Be inspired in spirit by that situation. It's an opportunity for personal growth, self-development and spiritual development. You can step back, create a gap and say, well, why is this happening to me? This which I don't want. Because those things that we don't want are most likely things that we don't need, and the universe will always give you what you need, even if it's not what you want. And what you need is you need learning, development. These problems, which I would call challenges, are character building, and you're trying to evolve. You're trying to become a higher, finer, more mature vibration, a lighter vibration, and you're trying to become enlightened, which means you feel light. Now, these situations drag us down and make us feel heavy, but if you look for the learning in these situations and you come up with wise solutions, or you access the universe and get wise solutions from your higher self, from universal consciousness, then you'll actually grow and evolve and your vibration will rise up. You'll be raised above these problems and you won't be dragged down by them. Now, if this conversation, this explanation you find confusing, or you like the idea but you just don't know how to do it, then contact me. My name's Mike Garner and you'll find me at MrMikeGarner.com or on this YouTube channel, or any of my contact details will be on the page where you're viewing this presentation. My company is called mindfocusgroups.co.uk. So contact me and we can share these situations. I can give you some wisdom, some ideas. I'm not saying I'm right and I'm not saying you're wrong, but when you share, you can get more input. And it's from sharing this stuff on these presentations that I find that I'm building a community of eagles. Eagles are people who do rise above the situation. They don't scratch around like chickens, talking about problems and negative things. They rise above, they fly high, high flyers, and look at the bigger picture. So become an eagle with me, Mr. Mike Garner, and I'll see you at the next presentation. Keep checking in where you're viewing this, and there'll be more top tips for you. Take care. Bye for now.